Hello everyone. We have here a program that generates a random number between 1 to 10. So how can we actually do this in Java programming? It is pretty simple with the help of an existing class in our Java. So that is the math class. So what is a math class? So a math class is one of the libraries included in our JDK, and it gives us static functions or methods inside it. And here are some of those methods. One is the power. Basically we call this, here is an example. Its name is pow, and normally it gives us the value of the power on the power, the scientific method of getting the power of a number. So the argument type should be double. That's why in this example you can actually see that it is 2.0 because it needs to have a decimal value since it is double. And then we use this syntax. So we call the math class dot, meaning the method that we are calling is static. So we always call it as dot. So dot pow, which is the name, and then this is its syntax, wherein 2 is the base and then 3 is the power or the superclass. So that means 2 raised to 3 is equal to, it will give you 8. So we can try that later. Okay, so basically this is the math class. The abs is the absolute value. Just study this all together with the maximum and minimum. If you give this several values like 5, 6, or just like as the minimum, it will give you the minimum and the maximum of those numbers. Well, the absolute value will give you the absolute, wherein it is not negative nor positive, but the absolute value. Okay, so now let's proceed to this one, which is the random number. Okay, let's put that later. Okay, so what about the round? Round gives us the ability to round up. It's actually rounding up the normal rounding of the number. So 6.2 gives us 6 as long as it is less than 5. So 6.8 gives us 7. So math that round. We call it math through the through its name, which is dot round. While the seal gives us the highest possible value that we can have with the double. So 3.2 gives us 4 because as long as it has a decimal value, it will give us the next higher integer, so which is 4. Whether it is less than 5 or greater than 5, it will give us the next whole number that is next to this one. Okay, so that is seal, while the floor is the opposite of the seal because whether the decimal of the number is less than or greater than 5, it will always give us the lowest possible value of that number, which is 3.0. Whether be it 3.2 or 3.9 or 3.99, as long as it is a decimal, it will just disregard all the decimal and make this the return value with the 0. Square root, of course, it will give us the square root of the number or the integer being inputted. Okay, don't be overwhelmed by it. You can actually substitute this with the variables that you need to evaluate or to execute. Okay, so now let's go to the random number because it is what I have shown you here. I'm using it to create that program. So we have here the random function which could be called through the math.random. So what does it mean? That the value that would be returned in a range of greater than 0 and less than 1. That means that's 0.0001 up to 0.9999. So how can I get a whole number from it? Like this one, 3.0, or if it's not double, I'll what if I just want it to be 6.0 or plainly 5 and doesn't have any number, any decimal points at all. So it is what we are going to discuss today, the math class, specifically the random function. So just study this math class. Okay, now let's proceed to this one. We have our code here, and this one generates this output. So what does this basically mean? So first, we are calling that random. Remember, you don't have to include any imports here because it is automatically being added by the Java. It's being recognized. And then, so after using the math.random, it actually gives us this output first. So let's just compile it. So every time that we will actually run it, it will give us, as you know, a different output. So because it's randomized. So now what we get is 0.0136, something like that. So that is a double. Because why do we use double? Because it is what this actually says, that the return type is double. So for us not to have any errors, we used double. So now that we have our random number here, but since it gives us greater than 0 but less than 1, we need to actually multiply it by 10. So why do we have to do that? Because just like in this example, if it starts with 0, obviously it will move to 1 and then it will give us this one, but it's still not enough because I still have this 0.77 or 0.13 and it's still not a number, greater than 1. So what we used is ceil, just to give us the impression that we want to round it up to be able to get a decimal number. But what if I want to disregard the 0, the 8.0? So that's the time that we'll actually get this number. So let's try to get this one, if it will actually work. Okay, so it says that incompatible types possible. It says that conversion from double to int, and one of the conversion that is the most easy way of conversion is this one. That means we are forcing it to be converted to integer. So there we have it. Unlike this one that we had 8.0, we only have here an integer, which is 2. So that's the way how I actually do it to create a number, and you can try creating your own randomizing number. This basically gives us numbers from 1 to 10, between 1 to 10 only. So you may also try creating your own, try creating between 1 to 20, how would you do it? So just play with it, play around with it, and have a happy coding time.